Hey guys, how's it going? It's Billy back at you, this time with some recent finds on my trip to Kansas City. It was a quick turnaround. Brother Rob, Black Star Vinyl, I apologize up front for not being able to get a hold of you. Like I said, it was a quick turnaround. I actually went in there for business. Wasn't planning on doing any record shopping, but we took a couple-hour break during the day. I knew Mitch was off on Monday. Didn't know your work schedule, so I gave Mitch a call. We ended up setting up, we met. He was able to meet real quick, and he took me around to a couple record stores. We grabbed a quick bite to eat for lunch, a little barbecue, which was great, and then right back at it. So Rob, next time, my man, I promise we will get together. It was a good quick turnaround. Like I said, less than 24 hours in and out. Doing some training for my photography business. Went to my studio, which is in Raytown, which is South Kansas City. Real quick, let's see. Met up with Mitch, who, like I said, he was off that day. In the afternoon, I just had a few hours in the afternoon. Around lunchtime, we were able to meet up. Grabbed a quick bite to eat and then hit a few record stores. It was great. Thank you so much, Mitch. Meeting up with Mitch, he had a few things to give me here, which was nice. This is a beautiful, beautiful copy of Willie Nelson's Red-Headed Stranger on 8-track, which I do have a copy, but not one this nice. This thing is beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Mitch. And then he had sent me a couple sealed metal records previously, but I guess he had held back a few, so he's been holding out on me. So this is an Italian metal band. I can't even really... Miss Daisy, Pizza Connection. So maybe Rob, you might know something about some of these, Rob, or you know, a couple of you other guys, Brett. Let me know what if you guys know anything. I'm going to open these up, give these guys a spin, but this is obviously Italian metal. We have Chastain, Ruler of the Wasteland. So these were all sealed and reduced from back in the day. This one here is MAS Mossy, Downtown Dreamers, Mossy. There we go. Cool. Late 80s glam rock metal, it appears to be. And then I was pumped to see this, Saxon. Probably a little bit different than the Saxon that I have over in the collection already, but can't wait to give it a spin and see how it sounds. So thank you so much for that stuff, Mitch. Not only for the stuff, but for hanging out for a few hours and making the quick trip to Kansas City worthwhile. The barbecue was phenomenal. Can't wait to do it again. Like I said, Rob, I'll give you a call. I know I have to come back to Kansas City at some point. We'll make that happen. Or you guys are, of course, always more than welcome to come here. So let's see. I don't even remember the places that we went to, but I do remember the first place. I know I picked up a few things. I think this was from the first place. So I got, let's just get these out of the way. A few 8-tracks. So this is Charlie Daniels Band, Full Moon Fever, or Full Moon Fever's Tom Petty. So Charlie Daniels Band, Full Moon. Great stuff on this one. Legend of the Woolly Swamp, In America, Carolina, I Remember You, and in another version of In America. So great copy in the original Epic sleeve, which was nice. 50 cents. Couldn't wait to snag that one up. This is one that I picked up. That's another one. So that in addition to the Charlie Daniels, this is one that I picked up for the actual tape itself. So the Tubes live. Never see this one. Was pumped to get this one. 50 cents as well. And then these three I just picked up for the cartridge. I'm going to record over these. I love these. I'm going to clean these carts up, and this has 40 minutes of tape on it. It was I got for 50 cents, a Jethro Tull War Child, but 40 minutes I can put I can dupe something nice onto that and give me a nice nice custom label. And I love these hot pink carts as well. So this was another one that was purchased solely for the reason of being recorded over. So thank you, Bet. Thank you, Jethro. Thank you, Bet. This is another one that will be 36 minutes worth of tape. Once I wipe it clean with the bulk eraser, strip it off, I'll make something really cool out of those, I promise. This is one that I bought with the intention of using as a blank. It is going to provide almost 48 minutes worth of recording time, but I put it in and listened to First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and almost can't bring myself to record over Roberta. I haven't made my mind up yet, but Roberta, you were bought with the intention of being recorded over, but even though I do have that on vinyl, it sounded so good, and I just may not be able to bring myself to record over Roberta. So love that hot pink cartridge as well. So those were found at the first place we went to, as well as these cassettes. So I went and went a little bit cassette crazy, and a lot of these were 99 cents. So there's Daryl Singletary, his first album, and then Daryl Singletary Now and Again, one that I was not familiar with, honestly. This is from 2000. It's basically looks like a comp. It has some of his better, more popular things on it. So super stoked, super pumped to have that one. Some more Chris Ledoux. If you saw Chris Ledoux in the last video, here's some more Chris. Little What You Gonna Do with a Cowboy. Duet with Garth, but that actually has songs, Call of the Wild, What You Gonna Do with a Cowboy, Garth, Hooked on an 8-Second Ride, which is great, Look at You Girl, Cadillac Ranch, Western Skies. This is a phenomenal album by Chris Ledoux. Glad to have that and add that to the collection. Confederate Railroad, their debut, tons of great songs. Brooks and Dunn's debut, A Brand New Man. Great to have that. Like I said, all these were like 99 cents. Couldn't leave them sitting there. Vern Gosdin, Alone. Keith Whitley's Don't Close Your Eyes. Of course, you guys know that follow my channel. You know what I think about Keith Whitley. You know how much I love Keith. And then this one was kind of cool. Hank 3, Rising Outlaw. Glad to pick that one up as well. So those I picked those up along with those 8 tracks at the first store we went to. Not even really sure the name of these stores. Then we went in to another store, Mills. I do remember Mills, and I only walked out with this, but I tell you what, if this was the only thing I walked out from the whole trip, I would have been completely ecstatic, head over heels. Mills was a great store, very well curated, and they had some nice stuff. But this is a very rare original pressing, Vanguard pressing, I believe. Yeah, original Vanguard pressing from 2010 of Merle Haggard's I Am What I Am. Super, super hard to find. Glad to add this one to the collection. Then we went to another store, and I picked up just a couple things. Nope. Yeah, this is one from the second store, I think, or third store. I think we hit 3 or 4 stores total, but I don't know. It was a whirlwind. It was in and out real quick. So LL Cool J, Walking with a Panther. Nice VG Plus copy of this. Glad to have this in shrink with the hype stickers. You know, songs like I'm the Type of Guy. They're Jingling Baby. Big Old Butt. Great album. Great songs on here. Glad to have that. Still looking for a nice OG copy of Mama Said Knock You Out. of course, I could get online and buy it, but it's a little bit more special, as you guys know, finding these things in the wild. So that was a really cool find. I think it was about $14 or $15. Not too bad. Really good score there. Then we went to, yeah, these all came from the last two stores. So probably my favorite store out of the lot would have been was it Record Renaissance? Vinyl Renaissance. Vinyl Renaissance. So at Vinyl Renaissance, they ended up having a really, really well curated store. Nice people in there. Tons of vinyl, everything you could look for. Tons of CDs, some cassettes. Great gear. I mean, they had some phenomenal gear at this place. So jumping right in, first thing I saw when I walked in the door, I mean, literally jumped right out at me as soon as we went in the door, was the new release from Cody Jinks, Lifers. I'm not going to go in detail on this album because I plan on doing an album review on this, but I've had the digital copy for a week or so, 2 weeks maybe, but had to go ahead and pick this up, and I will be looking for a review on that. So I was pumped to find that, and then this as well, the new album by John Prine, The Tree of Forgiveness, of course produced by Dave Cobb. Dave, I believe, I'm not 100% sure if Dave did Cody's or not. No, this is produced by Josh Thompson and Arthur Penhallow Jr., but Dave Cobb, of course, Chris Stapleton, Jason Isbell, so many greats. Jamie Johnson, I say Sturgill Simpson, yeah, and Coulter Wall, great stuff. Brent Cobb even. Anyhow, the new album from John Prine, great stuff. One of my favorite lines on here is, and of course, oh, before I go into it, this was pressed, and did not know until I opened it up to give it a spin, but because it doesn't say anywhere on the jacket, but this was pressed at Quality Records. Great pressing, great sounding pressing, great plant, as you guys know. But favorite line off here is, what is it? No, what Dad said, when you're a dead peckerhead. So, love John Prine. Great to hear new stuff from him. Glad to have that. And then I picked this one up. This is a reissue from Jason Isbell. I'm not familiar with this album. Sirens of the Ditch. Apparently it's an older one from like 2008, 2007. Just reissued on Coke bottle clear vinyl 2 LP set. I just recently picked up some of his other stuff, Southeastern, and fell in love with the stuff. So when I saw this 2 LP 180 gram reissue colored vinyl for less than 20 bucks, I picked it up. So I'm pretty hopeful that that's going to be good. Any of you guys that might have any information on that, let me know. Then the last thing I got from Vinyl Renaissance is not one of my favorite albums by the band, but being a completist, I had to pick it up. This is an original 2003 Elektra pressing of Metallica's Saint Anger in VG Plus to near mint condition. The albums are near mint. The cover, I would say, normally I would say near mint, but it's VG++. There's just I mean, in the shrink with the hype stickers, just a couple little minor dings, but still very, very nice, and the price was right. I got this at a little bit lower than the median price on Discogs, and you just don't see these around anywhere. So I believe this finally fills my OG Metallica on vinyl. So glad to add that to the collection. And then we hit one other place before I had to get back to the meeting or training, I should say. And what was the name? The name of the place was Brothers. Brothers Music, great little place. Super nice, again, super nice staff. And curated well. I love that they not only had everything alphabetized and categorized in genre, but they even took the time to put more artists than just your quote-unquote handful of popular artists. I mean, there were a lot of artists that had labels, so it had tags, so you knew right where you could go find the stuff, which was great. Thumbs up there, that was awesome. One thing that Mitch found I'm like, dude, if you don't get that, that is coming home with me. It's 1988 comp from Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. Never see this one anywhere out in the wild. It's in great, beautiful condition. Glad to finally add that one to the collection. Another one for me, this is an upgrade, one of my favorite albums by the band, definitely my favorite album by the band, Dixie Chicken by Little Feat. Just a great album, and I have played the hell out of mine. This is a definite upgrade in shrink, VG++ all around. The vinyl is killer, and I still want to eventually probably, I know they have released that on MoFi. I would probably like to get that on MoFi someday because it's one of my favorite albums. And then my find of the day there, well, the find of the store, is an original first press Chris Christopherson's debut album. Of course, it's got songs like Me and Bobby McGee, Help Me Make It Through the Night, For the Good Times, Sunday Morning Coming Down. Those are the ones that everybody should be familiar with. But this is not only a original first U.S. pressing on Monument Records, but it's the label variation as well. So I was I'll pull that out here real quick. Just other than a little bit of ring wear on the front, it's in gorgeous condition. Great find. Normally these things go for around 40 bucks. I know you see them on eBay for 25, 30. But they're typically around 40 bucks, and this is the label variation. Just a beautiful copy of that, and it will go well with my, I do have an original first U.S. press of this on the original brown Monument label as well. So that was a really great find for 4 bucks. I was so pumped to grab that. So if you guys ever see that out there. Now they have reissued. They did reissue this later in a completely different cover, but that was a nice one. I was so pumped to find that. And the great thing about Brothers Records, they had a killer cassette selection, and he was so I walked up with a huge stack of cassettes, and he had some rare metal cassettes on the counter that I just started pulling out. And so since I had so many, he gave me 50% off of these cassettes, which was a great score, a really great score. So let's jump right into this. So this is Red Voodoo by Sammy Hagar and the Wobble-Ritas. This was 3 bucks, but like I said, I got all these for 50% off, so $1.50 on that. This is Sammy's self-titled from, what, 86, 87? Hell, not even sure. But this has like Where Eagles Fly and things like that. Great album. One of my favorite Sammy solo albums. And then, of course, Standing Hampton. This was 2 bucks, so I ended up getting that for $1. And then I had, so we're standing there and I'm telling Mitch, so I had this Van Halen Live right here, right now, which is a 2-tape set. I didn't know that when I originally bought this one a long time ago in a collection, and there was no other tape, so I didn't know which one I had. Of course, I wasn't expecting to walk into a big lot of tapes, so I took a chance just in case I didn't have it. So it ended up being $1, and wouldn't you know, it is the matching pair, the matching one that I need to make the pair to complete the set of Van Halen Live right here, right now. So that was a pleasant surprise. Some country, George Strait, Oceanfront Property. That was 2 bucks, so it ended up being $1. Another $2 score ended up being $1. Garth Brooks, Fresh Horses, Great album. Then we had actually seen this in 3 of the 4 stores we went to. Iron Maiden, Power Slave, and it's one I did not have, but every other store had it for $12, $13, and this store had it for $6, which of course I ended up getting for $3. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Megadeth, Killing Is My Business. Business is Good. That was another $6 one that I ended up getting for $3. A cassette single, Wake Up Dead. Didn't see that one before, so $1.50 on that one. Exodus, Pleasures of the Flesh. Did not have that one. Glad to finally run across that. That was $6 as well. I ended up getting that for $3. Black Sabbath, Headless Cross. That one was marked $4, so $2 on that one. This one was for $1. Damn Yankees. This was $6, but I ended up getting it for $3. A sealed copy of Dio, Lock Up the Wolves. What is this? This is the Cult Love. And I asked Mitch if this was like the follow-up to Electric, but we weren't sure. It doesn't have a year on here, but I'll have to check. I had to pick it up. It was $1. And then lastly, 2 Live Crew, Nasty As They Want to Be, $3. Glad to pick all those up. So that is that's my Kansas City haul right there. So we're right at 20 minutes, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in always. I don't know when I'll have another video coming at you, but here's this one and my Nashville. Hopefully you haven't seen my Nashville one, or if you've watched it, thank you for watching that. If you haven't seen it, go over and check it out. Just kind of talk about my Nashville trip and the things that I found, and hanging out with George and hanging out with Chris Hansen. But guys, this is my Kansas City trip, wrapping it up. Thank you, Mitch and Rob. I'll get with you next time, buddy. But guys, thanks. As always, take care. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.